Good morning. Now on Good Day. You might want to hear some of this before you're heading out the door. Well, I'll tell you why experts say today is actually the deadliest day of the year on the roads.
TSA may stop screening passengers at dozens of small airports. The ripple effect this could have for those hopping on a connecting flight.
And how a dog here may have managed to survive a wildfire in Greece that killed nearly 100 people.
8 News Now Good Day, the Valley's news leader, starts right now.
Now, live. This is 8 News Now, Good Day.
6 o'clock on your Thursday morning. Thank you very much for waking up with us here on Good Day. I'm John Langler.
And I'm Nia Wong, in for Kirsten Joyce.
All right, so let's get right to the weather today. We're talking about possibility of some more storms coming on later on in the afternoon. Nate Tannenbaum is in for Sherry with a look at the forecast.
Yeah, John and Nia, exactly right. We have seen these storms popping up in the middle of the morning into the afternoon hours, sometimes during the overnight hours. We're pretty sure it's going to be during the middle and the evening today. And then the atmosphere should start to dry out. We'll get into the details, but we wanted to give you this beautiful live picture. This is a camera down at Sunset Station looking at the fabulous Las Vegas Strip. And did you see some leftover clouds from overnight? We're at 93 officially. Just a little breeze out of the south-southwest at 5. Still got some humidity at 23%, but the dew point indicating there's still juice in the atmosphere. On the overnight radar, just a couple of clouds here and there. There was a sprinkle in northwestern Arizona. We'll keep an eye on that throughout the day. Again, yesterday afternoon, just a real quick shot of rain down in the southeast valley. Watching the clouds build up today will give a big hint as to where the storms may be. We are calling for those pop-up storms. Your headlines including still very hot today. We will dry out over the weekend. That should be some welcome news, but some of the extended forecast computers are talking about monsoon moisture next week. So that's ahead. In the meantime, though, let me change clickers and talk about getting you out on the road just after 6 a.m. Here we're checking out a crash that took place just outside of Bally's. On your screen here, this is eastbound Flamingo. So those folks have just crossed Las Vegas Boulevard. That's the pedestrian overpass, and that's Bally's. A crash right in front of the bus shelter there. I think these two cars were involved. I'm not quite sure what all of this is, unless that's a taxi line. But the bottom line, what little traffic there is moving through. Just stay out of that right-hand lane. Heading into the Spaghetti Bowl on the northbound, 95, 515. This is the end of the Charleston curve. Up to Eastern and into downtown. Lanes are open, same for the southbound side. Spaghetti Bowl, yeah, you got company. It's crowded southbound on the 15, tapping the brakes at Washington. John, Nia?
Nate, thank you. The worst day, interesting stat here, the worst day for deadly car crashes, it's not during severe weather or on a holiday weekend as you might think.
Yeah, it's actually happening right now. Today, August 2nd, has consistently been the deadliest day according to a national study. 8 News Now reporter Hector Mejia is live along I-15 with those details. Good morning, Hector.
Good morning, Nia and John. The study looked at a 4-year period between 2012 and 2016. 505 people died on August 2nd during a car crash on August 2nd of those years, and Metro Police has been posting up-close videos of crash sites to raise awareness on social media. This one is from last month. The study by the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety says contributing to the death numbers are alcohol, speeding, not wearing seatbelts, and reckless driving. So why is the deadly trend during the summer? Researchers say people are not as on guard as they would during severe weather or any other event like a holiday. We're in the middle of summer. People are on vacation, teens still on break. During the month of June here in Nevada, 31 deaths recorded because of a crash. Ahead at 6:30, we'll explain the number of deaths so far this year here locally on our state roads. Reporting live, Hector Mejia, 8 News Now.
Hector, thank you. A judge has ruled the woman accused of killing 3 local teenagers in a March car crash can go to trial. 28-year-old Bonnie Duarte is accused of killing 3 Centennial High School students during spring break in Huntington Beach, California. According to lab reports, her blood alcohol content was 0.28. Earlier this week, parents of the victims and Duarte, they had to meet face-to-face in court for the first time. One of the victims' parents says that Duarte should be in prison for the rest of her life.
Every day is tough. Every day you want to cry, and probably you do cry. I have 2 other daughters, and I know the other families have other children. We all must move on, but it's not easy. We definitely, you struggle every day because you had plans and they're gone.
Duarte is currently charged with murder and driving under the influence, and she'll be back in court August 9th. Nia?
A manhunt is underway in Texas for the suspected killer of a doctor who once treated former President George H.W. Bush. Investigators believe the suspect, Joseph James Pappas, may have been acting on a decades-old grudge against Dr. Mark Houseknecht. He was shot dead nearly 2 weeks ago as he biked to work in Houston. Just yesterday, police announced the suspect's mother was a patient of his and died during surgery more than 20 years ago. Investigators searched Pappas' home yesterday and found more evidence tying him to the shooting. The CBS Board of Directors has retained 2 law firms to investigate press allegations against Chairman and CEO Leslie Moonves and CBS News and cultural issues at all levels of the company. Moonves will have no role in the investigation.
Americans who were on board a crashed Aeromexico flight are now speaking out. CBS News correspondent Laura Podesta reports on one family's emotional reunion with loved ones on that plane.
Among the 103 people who survived the plane crash in Mexico on Tuesday was Dorelia Rivera and her 14-year-old daughter, Kayla Martinez. Last night, they returned home to Chicago, embracing family members they thought they'd never see again.
We didn't think we were going to make it. I honestly have no idea how anyone survived, not one person.
Video a passenger shot during takeoff shows a gray sky and thick cloud coverage as the Aeromexico plane tried to fly out of Durango, Mexico. The cell phone video goes to black, but screams and prayers could be heard from terrified passengers. Mexican officials say the control tower reported the twin-engine jetliner descended abruptly, possibly due to a severe gust of wind. The left wing appeared to hit the ground as the plane came to a stop more than 300 yards from the runway. It lost both its engines, but somehow stayed upright, allowing exit slides to deploy. Kayla Martinez says she and her mother ran as fast as they could away from the plane, which was now on fire.
I really didn't think I was going to get here today.
She says the entire situation still feels surreal, like a dream, and she's thankful to be home. Laura Podesta, CBS News, New York.
49 people were hospitalized in the crash. The pilot and one other person, the 2 most seriously injured, are in serious condition.
The car fire in Northern California is now the 6th most destructive fire in the state's history. It's destroyed more than 1,000 homes so far, and 6 people have died. The car fire is just one of 17 big wildfires burning in California right now. The state's already spent more than a quarter of its firefighting budget for the entire season. And you got to take a look at your TV at this amazing video from Greece. This dog you're about to see here managed to survive the recent deadly wildfires there. He did so by hiding in an outside oven while the town was reduced to ash. The dog was found last week by an animal rescue volunteer. He's been groomed and is on antibiotics and is said to be making a slow but steady recovery.
Wow. 6:08 right now. Still to come on 8 News Now. The TSA thinking about scaling back security checks at some airports.
The reason why the agency could cut back coming up.
And Target sets its sights on the Las Vegas Strip, when the store could come to Las Vegas Boulevard. Right here on 8 News Now, the Valley's news leader.
You're watching the Valley's news leader with Kirsten Joyce, John Langler, Sherry Swinsk, and Nate Tannenbaum. This is 8 News Now. Good day.
6:11 on your Thursday morning. Welcome back. NDOT says we need to show something. There we go. The Boulder City Bypass, officially known as I-11, opens a week from today, next Thursday. It's 15 miles long and it's going to save drivers time typically spent passing through town with a lower speed limit in the future. Well, the plans call for I-11 to run all the way from Nogales, Arizona up to Reno, but that's a long ways off.
Another opening you're sure to be excited about. The Las Vegas Strip will soon be home to a new Target. The retail giant sets up shop inside the old Smith & Wollensky building just north of MGM Grand on Las Vegas Boulevard. With just 20,000 square feet to work with, Target's calling this a smaller store, catering to the needs of business travelers, tourists, and nearby residents. That's scheduled to open in 2020.
Seemed like that was a long time coming to bring something like that to this strip.
Well, I know a lot of folks miss the steaks from Smith & Wollensky. It was a really tasty restaurant, but it's been closed for a while, so we were wondering what was going to go in that space. Target.
Mon Dieu. But yeah, it seems like we were talking during the commercial break. If you can put one of those kind of retail spots at a Times Square, seems only likely that they would have one on the strip.
Well, and we were also talking about how the drugstores that are on the strip, the CVS's, the Walgreens, they're packed all the time because, like you said, people forget their toothbrush or whatever. And I think they also sell some knickknacks in these places too.
Yeah, it's a good idea. I wish we had thought of it. Then we could have been, raking in the dough. All right, let's talk weather. Nate, you've got both remotes today.
Yes, Sherry's taking the day off today. Yep. We're definitely keeping an eye on the sky, and the sun is up. There are a few clouds lingering from the overnight hours. We'll check the radar pictures, but we wanted to start with this live picture. Once again, kind of giving you everything you need to see. A beautiful shot from our camera at Sunset Station, looking all the way across at the strip. Yeah, there's been some cloud cover overnight, but no rain. A couple of nights ago, remember, we had a pretty good lightning show. Well, it's 93 officially at McCarran, but still hanging close to 100 for Henderson. You're at 97. 89, much cooler at Summerlin. And of course, the storms continue to fire up in the afternoon hours over Mount Charleston. Right now, Kyle Canyon dry at 70. How about not even getting below 100? Death Valley at 102. Laughlin, you are in the mid 90s at 95. Mesquite's at 97. Of course, cooler at Cedar City. Now, Caliente, we're expecting some rain in Lincoln County this afternoon. You're at 71 right now. So the radar picture overnight, just a couple of clouds here and there. Rain, that was in northwestern Arizona. Did get a shot of yesterday afternoon in the valley, the southeast valley, around the Sam Boyd Stadium, almost a quarter of an inch, about a half an hour. We're going for 109 today. So far, our low has been 92. There's the normal at 104. We're not going to set a record, but yesterday was 111. So we're staying quite warm. High pressure in control for now. We have to watch for an additional pump of moisture today. You see that cloud cover down in the Gulf of California and the Baja? That's why we're keeping an eye. We think there's going to be a little extra juice in the atmosphere today, but where those storms pop up, we're going to have to keep an eye on that. For your family and friends across the nation, storms across the south, the mid-Atlantic states, and on up into the eastern seaboard. How about some right now temperatures for your family and friends? Boise with a 67. The Windy City is at 73. Hot Atlanta, you're only at 72 right now. But let's get in depth into your 7-day forecast. So after this 109 today with those afternoon storms, we will start to dry out. We think the humidity, don't know that it's going to get down to single digits, but 107, 108 kind of back and forth, and then keeping an eye on the potential for even more monsoon moisture next week. But let's switch clickers and talk about what's going on the road. We've got Flamingo with this crash right in front of Bally's. It's not a huge deal, but you got to stay away from that right-hand lane. These are the folks who just crossed Las Vegas Boulevard, so that's the pedestrian overpass. A couple of NHP troopers just kind of casually hanging out there, not quite sure what the deal was with this crash in front of the bus shelter, but just stay out of that right-hand lane as you're crossing Las Vegas Boulevard. And we're now looking towards the west again. This is the North 95, 515 around the Charleston curve. Wide open, same coming out of the Spaghetti Bowl. Now you do have additional traffic, lots of company on the southbound 15 heading into the Spaghetti Bowl, but you're not tapping the brakes now until about Washington. So far, so good, John.
Nate, thank you. 6:16 right now. The TSA could stop screening at more than 150 airports. It's revisiting a proposal to eliminate the process at smaller airports. As Andrew Spencer reports, if implemented, it could mark a major change for the industry.
The TSA currently screens passengers at nearly 440 airports nationwide. Under this proposal, that number could drop drastically. According to internal documents obtained by CNN, the TSA is considering ending security screenings at more than 150 small and medium-sized airports that operate commercial flights with no more than 60 passengers. TSA says they're simply resurrecting an idea they've explored before, as far back as 2011. A spokesman for TSA said in an email that the regulations that establish TSA do not require screening below a certain level, so they could potentially consider proposals like this in any given year. But such a change would be a big shift for the Transportation Security Administration, which was established in response to the terrorist attacks on September 11th, 2001.
I think it's stunning that this is even being seriously considered.
Terrorism analyst Paul Cruikshank says a 50-person aircraft would still be a very attractive target for terrorists.
ISIS, their message is attack in any way you can, big or small, against anybody that you can go after.
Under the proposal, passengers and luggage arriving from smaller airports would still be screened before getting on connecting flights at major airports. And by eliminating screening at smaller airports, TSA's recent cost analysis estimates the agency could save $115 million a year and funnel that money to bolster security at larger, busier airports. I'm Andrew Spencer reporting.
Time is now 6:18, and we've got a special group in studio. They'll be representing Nevada in the Little League Baseball Western Region next week, all in hopes of making it to the big tournament later this month in Williamsport, Pennsylvania.
All right, you're going to meet some of the Silverado All-Stars before they head off to San Bernardino. They brought their shades, too. Look how cool they are. Yes, Little League Baseball.
It's also time for today's Facebook contest. Register to win on our
Dodge in the Valley Auto Mall, #1 for a reason.
You're watching 8 News Now. Good day.
All right, 6:21 on your Thursday morning. You know, before the Little League World Series later this month in Williamsport, Pennsylvania, there are regional tournaments taking place all over the country, and that includes the Western region in San Bernardino, California next week. So representing in Nevada in that tournament, it's the Silverado West All-Stars from Henderson. Hey, fellas, what's up? A little early to be up in the morning. Is that what you're trying to say here? Coach Frank Apicecchi's here. Hey, Frank.
How you doing?
I'm mostly sunny. Coach John Ferry. Hey, John. And Nick Rush. How's it going? Good. All right, let's holler out the players' names real quickly so you guys can get some TV time. Brody Smith, number 27. Where are you?
I'm right here.
What position do you normally play?
I play left field.
Left field. Okay. Brady Bollinger?
I'm right here.
Okay.
I play right field.
Right field. Okay. Jack Buning.
Right here.
Hey, Jack. What do you play?
Field.
Pardon me?
Center field.
Center field. Okay. Oliver
Right here.
Macanui. Okay. You're a catcher. Brock Snyder.
Right field.
Right field?
Right here.
Okay. Connor Apicecchi?
Right here.
What do you play? Second base? Okay. Koa Young?
Mainly pitcher and first.
Okay. Mainly pitcher and first. Jack Glazer?
Jake.
What do you say?
Jake Glazer.
Jake Glazer, what do you play?
Left field.
Left field. Okay. Aaron Del Valle?
Here.
What do you play?
Right field. Right field.
That's not funny. Easton Shelton? What do you play?
Shortstop.
Okay. Jacob Ferry?
Second base.
Now, your buddy over here, Brock, was saying you're the best player on the team. No? All right. Okay, well, Frank, I want to get your thoughts on, first of all, you guys had quite a run, not only through the state tournament, but through the regular season. How did these boys do this? I mean, tell me how many runs you scored and how many runs were scored against you.
District was 105 runs scored, 1 allowed.
Dude, that's pretty crazy.
That is pretty crazy. When we saw it, we're like, wow, that's impressive.
And that's the pitching staff right here?
Yeah, the pitching and our hitting.
Yeah.
They hit the ball very well. Played really, we had, I think, 2 errors in district, so they played very well.
And then the state tournament, you mowed them down.
Yep, we scored 34 runs, allowed 10, and again, just played solid.
Now, I want the folks who are watching to know that all of these players are, what, 12 and 13?
11, 12, and 13.
Okay. Now, we know that Mountain Ridge went to the World Series in Williamsport in 2014. Do you guys remember any of that? Did you guys know anything about that?
Nope.
Well, they were pretty amazing. That was the first Nevada team to ever win the Western region,
Yes,
Frank.
it is.
So you got some pressure?
Yeah, well, obviously, all games you got pressure, but I think we got a really good shot. I'm excited. Actually, can't wait.
Yeah, there's some
2
of that video
2
from
weeks right here is
2014.
2 weeks not playing is. I think we're all ready to play.
You've been practicing every day, right?
Yes.
Just about. So I know you're going to San Bernardino. Anybody been to San Bernardino before besides stopping at the In-N-Out Burger?
Oh.
So what are you expecting? I mean, you got your first game is Monday afternoon or Monday night?
Monday afternoon at 4:30.
Okay.
Yes.
And you're playing
ESPN.
ESPN 3, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah. So you can watch this team, the Silverado West All-Stars. Now tell me how these boys came together, because they were all on different teams in Silverado Little League?
Yeah, you play your Little League season, and then they have a board and the coaches, and they form an all-star team from all the teams. So they've been together about a month and a half, 2 months right now, about 2 months.
And do any of you guys go to school together? Do you all know each other, or how does that work?
I know him.
Yeah, you know him? Keeping an eye on him?
He's the troublemaker.
A lot of these guys played together and against each other with different ball clubs.
Right, exactly.
And we've gelled very well, played very well together.
Now, here's one of the things, guys, I want you to keep an eye on Coach Frank. They put a microphone on you during the game. So when you make a mound visit and he's saying something about, hey, man, you got to keep it together, have you thought about those kinds of things? Do you make mound visits, and what do you tell these boys when there's some pressure situations?
Well, just tell them to keep relaxed, do what they do, let their defense do the work, and concentrate on what they need to do.
Oh, there's some of that state tournament. That was pretty cool up in Carson City. I can't believe you guys just erased Mountain Ridge. It was like they didn't even show up that game.
We just played well. I mean,
and no offense to Mountain Ridge, because those are some good boys up there too, but you guys just got a strong team.
Yes. I feel very confident going to San Bernardino.
Okay, so first game Monday afternoon, ESPN3. Give it up for the Silverado West All-Stars representing Henderson and the state of Nevada in the Little League Western Region Tournament next week. Thanks for coming in, guys. Now go take a nap. 8 News Now, good day. We'll be right back. Good morning. Now on Good Day, Metro Police releases more new video from the 1 October shooting. We'll tell you where Jason Aldean's manager kept the singer during the chaos.
Plus, it's the deadliest day of the year today. What police say makes August 2nd so dangerous on our roads.
Yeah, specifically on those roads. Also, brace yourself because more hot temperatures are coming into the valley. Nate is in for Sherry this morning, and he'll have a check on your Weather Now forecast.
8 News Now Good Day, the Valley's news leader, starts right now.
Now, live. This is 8 News Now, Good Day.
6:30 on your Thursday morning. Thank you very much for waking up with us. It's Good Day, and I'm John Langler.
And I'm Nia Wong, in for Kirsten Joyce. She's been off the entire week, missing all this lovely weather we've been having.
I don't know if she's missing it, Bob. I think she's enjoying herself. But we have to deal with a lot of heat and maybe some storms today, Nate.
Yeah, I think there's a really good chance of that. Sherry's off today, so I'm handling 2 clickers. We have a, excuse me, a beautiful shot of the sunrise, and look at those mackerel clouds that Sherry was talking about a couple of days ago, indicating there's a lot of wind in the upper atmosphere, so maybe that's not good news for storms right now, but we're confident that storms are going to develop today, and we'll talk more about that. But first, your right now number at McCarran at 6 o'clock. We're at 93. Humidity still up there at 23%, but not nearly as high as it has been. We're 1 degree warmer than we were at this time 24 hours ago. The atmosphere for sure has a lot of juice in it. The dew point at 50 degrees. Now watching the radar overnight, not much going on, just some cloud cover surrounding the valley. If we were looking for rain, we saw just a little bit before it collapsed during the overnight hours, but we'll be watching the clouds that we expect to develop up over the higher elevations. A quick check of your weather headlines. Yeah, pop-up storms are likely, still pretty hot. Here's something different. We think we will dry out for the weekend, but maybe the monsoon comes back next week. We'll talk more about that. But now we'll switch clickers and talk about your commute. The only crash we have going on right now is on eastbound Flamingo. These are the folks who just crossed Las Vegas Boulevard and they're headed for Koval or whatnot. The crash was in front of the bus shelter there. I think there were more than one car, and there was more than one car involved. NHP troopers and a couple of folks lined up behind them. Bottom line, just stay out of that right lane. Now heading into the Spaghetti Bowl on the 95-515, easy ride coming out of the Spaghetti Bowl, nothing going on there. We do have some backups for you on the South 15 heading into the Spaghetti Bowl, but not as bad as it has been as we get into this last week before school starts up again. I think folks are taking some time off, John and Nia.
Nate, thank you. It is 6:32 right now. And as you're getting ready to hit the road this morning, there's an interesting study about driving specifically today. A national study shows August 2nd is actually the deadliest days on American roads.
Researchers say drivers might be a little less careful during summer when the weather's nice. Hector Mejia is reporting live along I-15 with the numbers here locally. Good morning, Hector.
Good morning. 153 people here in Nevada have died in a car crash so far this year during the first 6 months on our state roads. Let's show you a live look of the I-15. It's a beautiful morning, and researchers believe when the weather is nice, drivers are not as on guard as they would be during severe weather or during a holiday. There's been an effort locally by Metro Police to raise awareness. They've been posting videos from deadly car crashes on social media. A report by the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety says that on average today, August 2nd has consistently been the deadliest day out of the entire year for car crashes across the country. 505 deaths on the state between 2012 and 2016. For comparison, that's 10 more deaths than the number of fatalities on Independence Day during that same period, and 17 more deaths than October 25th. And for the month of June here in Nevada, crashes claimed the lives of 31 people, again on state roads. Just imagine 31 grieving families. We're posting a link to the national study on our website, lasvegasnow.com. Just click on the links mentioned tab. Reporting live, Hector Mejia, 8 News Now.
Hector, thank you. Two Pahrump teenagers you see on your screen there, they're in jail accused of murdering their mother. The Nye County Sheriff's Office shared with us this video. It shows where Michael Wilson and Dakota Saldivar allegedly buried their mother's body. The victim has been identified as Dawn Liebig. Both teenagers allegedly gave different stories to police about her fate before admitting they attacked her while she slept 2 weeks ago. They were arrested this week. Both are charged as adults with murder and conspiracy to commit murder. Metro Police has released more video from the night of 1 October. It's the 13th batch of evidence provided by investigators.
8 News Now reporter Patrick Walker shows us some of the images from body cameras worn by officers that night.
We are seeing more video from 16 different officers in this release. Some of the video is too graphic to show. We won't be showing any victims or playing any audio of gunshots, but you might want to turn away for the next minute or so. In this clip, a sergeant meets up with a group of off-duty officers inside the concert venue who were attending the Route 91 Harvest Festival and then quickly snapped into first responder mode.
Everybody listen for a second. Listen, guys, we're going to go down. We're going to tuck right. That'll give us high point a little bit where we're down. And we're going to direct everybody left. That's where we need everybody. Does everybody understand?
The team sets out to set up a more secure evacuation route, but the job quickly turns to VIP protection when they learn Jason Aldean is still inside one of the buses backstage. A sergeant speaks to Aldean's manager.
I've got Band and Jason locked down on here in a safe, and when you get the all clear, we'll move. But I feel like this is the safest spot.
These releases are expected to happen for the next several weeks. Police will not say exactly how much video there is. Patrick Walker, 8 News Now.
There are hours of video from that night. We posted additional clips on our website. Moments when police enter the festival grounds and move and clear the streets. And you can find those videos on our website at lasvegasnow.com. We'll continue to provide updates on the 1 October investigation online as well as during our newscasts.
6:35. Clark County schools are back in session in just a few weeks. New campuses are opening all across the valley. But down in Laughlin, the same frustration remains. Community members have asked for a new elementary school for years. The existing Bennett Elementary was originally built with portable classrooms, never really intended to be permanent, although now it is. Concerns over the school led staff to move 4th and 5th graders to the high school last year. Staff say that worked pretty well. However, they realize the high school now missed one thing Bennett did have, and that's a playground. Instead, students often had to have recess on an empty section of dirt on campus. In response, the Laughlin community raised $30,000 to build a new playground.
We've reached out to people that make their money in Laughlin to donate to this Laughlin project.
And they have.
And they have done it. The county has given us not one nickel. The school district hasn't given us a nickel.
But even with the money, the playground is still months from being built. Critics down in Laughlin say dealing with Clark County and CCSD is slowing the process down, putting construction grants in jeopardy. District officials say, though, the steps are nothing unusual. Laughlin's high school campus now has about 500 students.
4 new elementary schools will open their doors to students for the first time on August 13th. 3 of them are in the south side of town, but we're going to focus on the northwest at Kenneth Divich Elementary. That's where one of the teachers shares a special bond with the school.
I listened to his stories then, and I know as an adult now, I really remember his stories and his teachings. So I think 26 years in, I'm still listening to what my dad said.
Kendra Williams is the daughter of the school's namesake. Her father, Kenneth, worked with CCSD for more than 3 decades. He devoted his life both professionally and personally to help at-risk students. He's also the reason why Kendra became a teacher in the first place.
Just a quick reminder, 8 News Now is helping make sure students are prepared for the classroom this year. We're collecting donations for at-risk school students, and you can have until tomorrow to drop them off as part of our school supply drive at any Smith's or Silver State Credit Union.
8 News Now will be airing a back-to-school special this Saturday. We'll talk with Dr. Jesus Jara about the good and bad CCSD is facing as he enters his first term as superintendent. Again, that's this Saturday at 6:30 p.m. right here on Channel 8.
6:38 right now, and up ahead on 8 News Now. Police hitting the streets and promoting monsoon season safety.
We'll talk to volunteers as they go into some of the most dangerous areas where people can get swept away.
And we explain how lying, marketing, helped IHOP's sales. This is 8 News Now. Good day. It's the Valley's news leader. Good
FBI, Tuesdays this fall. You're watching the Valley's news leader with Kirsten Joyce, John Langler, Sherry Swensk, and Nate Tannenbaum. This is 8 News Now. Good day.
We have had quite an active monsoon season, and as we've seen, flash flooding can happen in an instant.
It can be extremely dangerous, especially for the homeless who often stay in our washes overnight. Orko Manna is riding along, or was riding along, with a mobile crisis unit to try and see how they keep those most at risk safe during the stormy conditions.
Now, during monsoon season, unfortunately, we've seen several homeless individuals die from the floodwaters inside those washes. But thankfully, Help of Southern Nevada's mobile crisis intervention team is here to help. Joining me this morning is Lewis Lacey with the MCIT. Tell me a little bit about what you guys do.
The mobile crisis intervention team is an outreach team that basically covers all of Clark County, which is about 8,200 square miles. We go into desert encampments, we go into parks, we go anywhere where there are homeless individuals that are living in places that are not meant for human habitation. This includes storm drains, washes, and tunnels, which obviously during monsoon season are very dangerous because the water will fill those drains up in a second and people die.
And you mentioned earlier it's not necessarily just the water, it's what that water brings.
Absolutely. Water is going to bring all of the debris, the trash, whatever may be in those tunnels or the washes, and that's what will actually injure you and cause you to drown.
And, in researching Help of Southern Nevada, it's not just, going in and getting these individuals, it's about teaching them about the dangers. Can you talk a little bit about what that's like?
If we know that it's going to rain or there's going to be a rain event, then what we'll do is we'll go down, we will post signs basically warning everybody, and then with those signs we also post shelter locations and our contact information. We speak with all the individuals that are willing to speak with us down in the tunnels and we warn them, but we also offer services because that's primarily what we want to do. We want to offer services to all of our homeless individuals and try to get them out of the tunnels, off the streets, out of the parks, and into some type of stable, permanent housing program.
And when you go into the tunnels and the washes, what are some of the challenges that you guys face when you get there?
Basically, it's wet. There's a lot of obstacles, a lot of trash, a lot of debris, a lot of stuff going on. And sometimes clients may be inebriated, they may be angry. And so there's a whole lot of things that can occur in the tunnels.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Lewis. We're actually going to be joining you to go across the valley to some of these washes to see who we can help. And we'll have more on that coming up on Channel 8. For now, Orko Manna, 8 News Now.
Orko up early and awake with us as well this morning, shooting a story that you'll see right here on 8 News Now a little bit later today.
Definitely good advice because we still have a chance of thunderstorms happening here in the valley, right, Nate?
Oh, there's no question about it, and I think there is a chance that those activations may take place today. A lot of times when you get a sudden downpour, the floodwaters may not reach those underground tunnels until some maybe hours later. But take a little walk with me, Devin. We're here at the 8 News Now Weather Center, and now we have well, of course, since I'm doing weather and traffic, you don't mind that I had to take this beautiful picture from our camera along the top of the Mulaski building. Gary back there in live ops. This is what the Spaghetti Bowl looks like when it's moving along in great shape, but we'll get to the traffic in a minute. 93 is the official temperature out at McCarran. We have seen the daytime temperatures slip a little bit through what we think will be their overnight lows. Henderson down from 97 to 94. Blue Diamond in the lower 80s. Summerlin now at 86. Kyle Canyon dropping back 5 degrees from earlier overnight, now at 65. We are continuing to keep an eye on the possibility of those storms firing up mostly over the higher elevations. And hey, Death Valley has dropped below triple digits. It was 102 just an hour ago, now at 99. Laughlin still hanging in there at 97. And we think that Lincoln County, Mojave County, and even southwestern Utah have maybe a better shot at rain than we do, but that doesn't mean we're out of the woods. Okay, so the overnight satellite and radar showing some cloud cover starting to creep in, but so far nothing showing up on the radar, and that includes northwestern Arizona. But we'll be watching the clouds where they build up, will be a good indicator of where we need to keep an eye out. We're shooting for a high of 109 today. No threat to the record, but yesterday was a toasty 111. There's the normal high of 104. So high pressure for sure in control. What we're watching for today is an extra shot at some rain because of moisture that may be coming straight up from the Baja. For your family and friends across the country, storms across the Midwest, riding along the eastern seaboard as well. How about some temperatures? Mile High City's at 63, KC at 71, Chicago's at 73, and Miami at 83. Let's take you through the next 7 days. After 109 today, the atmosphere starts to dry out. We think it'll be a hot but dry weekend, anticipating a high tomorrow of 108, and then kind of going back and forth between 106, 107, and 108. Maybe the monsoon comes back next week. That's what some of the extended forecast computers are saying. But let's see what the traffic computer is saying right now as we get you on the road. Yeah, we're looking here at the southbound I-15, doing very well. This, of course, will be the eventual I-15 when the widening project is done. Northbound, heading for the Spaghetti Bowl is all right, and so is the 95 in and out of the Spaghetti Bowl. In this view from Valley View, it has been a quiet rush hour. We want to keep it that way. You are hitting the brakes, South 15. Lanes are open. Just plan on a little delay there coming back about Washington. John, Nia?
Thank you, Nate. Time is now 6:47, and coming up after the break, Pennsylvania investigating dozens of clergy members.
Coming up, the child sex abuse scandal in the Catholic Church dating back decades. Plus,
good morning. Ahead on CBS this morning, new stories of survival from Americans on board the jetliner that crashed in Mexico. They describe the moment the plane slammed into the ground and how everyone got out alive. Plus, are you thinking of submitting your DNA to a genealogy website? Well, Dr. David Agus is here in Studio 57 with some of the unintended consequences. Who are they selling your data to? And only on CBS this morning, The Daily Show's Trevor Noah joins us with a new book on how Twitter has reshaped the presidency.
watching 8 News Now. Good day.
6:51, time now for your 3 top stories before you head out the door this morning.
Pennsylvania investigating sex abuse of children by priests in 6 of the state's 8 Catholic dioceses. The Diocese of Harrisburg identified 71 priests and others among the accused. The bishop publicly released the names of 71 accused clergy dating back to 1940. Most of the accused are either dead or no longer in the ministry. The announcement comes just days before the grand jury report is due.
Americans on board a Mexican plane that crashed have returned home last night. Crews recovered the black boxes from the jet. Everyone made it out of this plane crash alive, amazingly. Mexican officials say the control tower reported the plane descended abruptly during takeoff, possibly due to a severe gust of wind. About 100 people were on that plane.
The car fire in Northern California is now the 6th most destructive fire in the state's history. It's destroyed more than 1,000 homes so far and killed 6 people. The car fire is just one of 17 big wildfires burning in California right now. The state's already spent more than a quarter of its firefighting budget for the entire season. One of the nation's top college football coaches, Urban Meyer, is on paid leave this morning over his handling of a domestic violence case involving one of his assistants.
CBS This Morning has more with that victim and what she says prompted the investigation. Courtney Smith says abuse at the hands of her husband, Zach Smith, who was an Ohio State assistant. That abuse, she says, lasted for years. She turned over text messages showing she warned Meyer's wife.
She said she was going to have to tell Urban. She was going to have to tell Urban. I said, that's fine. You know, you should tell Urban. We can't have somebody like this coaching young men.
According to Title IX rules, Meyer is required to report domestic abuse by anyone on his staff. Otherwise, he could be fired with cause. CBS This Morning has reaction from Ohio State University coming up right after our broadcast.
Time is now 6:53. Coming up after the break, we check back in with Nate one last time for a lecture forecast, if there's any relief in sight.
And as we go to break, it's a live look at our crew inside the control room. What's up, crew inside the control room? How's it going? Are you guys enjoying breakfast? And if so, have you saved some from me? You're watching the Valley's News Leader.
Getting you out the door before 7 a.m. Sherry's off today, so I'm carrying 2 clickers. We start with a look at the satellite and radar. Even though there's nothing showing up on the radar, we got a bank of clouds rolling in from the south, and we do anticipate some pop-up storms this afternoon. Let's go ahead and check in your 7-day forecast. We think the atmosphere will seriously start to dry out after today. It could linger a little bit into your Friday, but 107 the forecast high after 109 today. 108 for Saturday, 107 Sunday. We do think more clouds are coming into the picture. Right now, the extended forecast computers are having some disagreements over whether the monsoon comes back next week, but you want to get through today, and we'll keep an eye on that radar for you. We're also keeping an eye on the traffic as you head out the door before 7. So far has been a quiet one. We'll update you for sure throughout CBS this morning, but right now, the southbound 15 from Charleston down towards Sahara, no big deal. That goes for the northbound side as well. The construction crew is about to get back to work in the middle of the freeway there. Heading into the Spaghetti Bowl and out on the 95. That's nice as well. Of course, you do have some slowdowns south 15 heading into the Spaghetti Bowl. The lanes are open. Tapping the brakes around Washington. John?
Nate, thank you very much. The markets just opened in New York City, and right now the Dow is down about 139, 140 points in early trading. Stocks finished mixed yesterday. The Dow lost 81 points. The Nasdaq added 35.
Tesla is reporting its largest quarterly loss ever. Yesterday, the car company said it lost more than $717.5 million in its second quarter. Tesla also spent $430 million worth of its cash stockpile last quarter. The loss didn't seem to bother investors, though. At one point and after hours trading, Tesla stock was up more than 10%.
IHOP says its fake name change turned out to be a real success. In June, the company said it was changing its name from IHOP to IHOB, saying it was trying to emphasize its burger menu. Eventually, IHOP admitted, just a marketing stunt. But it says that the stunt has increased sales and traffic and caloric intake.
A castle on the hit HBO show Game of Thrones is up for sale. The Gosford Castle is located in Northern Ireland and currently has a price of $650,000. In Game of Thrones, the castle served as the childhood home of Catelyn Stark. Airbnb also wants a piece of the castle. It's offered to give the rooms a Game of Thrones style renovation if the owners are willing to list it on their website.
Dwayne Johnson going viral for a big reveal here you see on social media. He surprised his longtime stunt double and his cousin, they're the same person, with a custom pickup truck. There it is. His cousin's been his stunt double since 2002 with the movie The Scorpion King. The Rock wrote while working on movies. His cousin has had multiple broken bones. He's torn ligaments, all trying to deliver the best moves on the big screen. Now he can deliver the best moves in his brand new pickup truck. That is an enormous truck, too. I can't tell what kind it is, but it looks big, whatever it is.
That's what family is all about.
What is that?
Yeah, the Rock's got a big heart. That's a beautiful thing.
And his cousin's got a big truck.
There you go. Well, and that thing with the Airbnb, that would be an awesome place to Airbnb at the Game of Thrones castle. Are you kidding me?
Hi, friend.
Yeah.
Drive a big old pickup truck there. Hang around for a little while. CBS This Morning starts immediately.